Hello and welcome to Lakers live postgame show. Lakers get the easy win versus Chicago Bulls, 101-90, presented by Big Baby Sports and 265 Media. I'm your host, Jonathan Zoffel, Aaron and Manny. How's your guys' night going?
That's going good, man. Can't complain. Well, Lakers get a win. I'm happy. Good overall performance from what we expected, and it's a good win.
Everything was great. Tonight was great. AD had a nice homecoming. THT finally had minutes. Can't complain. Everything was amazing.
Yeah, it was a good game, man. Shout out to Anthony Davis, which I called it in the pregame show, which I didn't make the pregame show. The Aaron and Manny took over, and I put in the comments, Anthony Davis is gonna have a dominant performance. He did. He came out attacking, mid-range jumper was going, three-pointer was going, and Anthony Davis ended with 37 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Love the energy, love the hustle from him. Just overall, love the energy from this team tonight. But in the second half, overall, Anthony Davis had a good game. LeBron had a decent game, and Marc Gasol, trash game. You're trash. Get the hell up out of LA, bro. Dennis Schroeder had 9 points. KCP had 9. 4 points for Kuzma. Montrezl Harrell 10 points, 5 rebounds, the usual. 2 points for Quinn Cook. 4 points for Wesley Matthews. Caruso 3 points, and THT with 10 points, man. So overall, give us your thoughts about Anthony Davis' performance.
AD, AD was great. I know that was Manny's guy tonight. Obviously, we gotta say this too. I have to mention this. This is obviously from the Lakers PR department. Chicago's 33-point first half points are the fewest scored by a Laker opponent through the first two quarters since from 2016 of January. That's crazy. That is a stat. Obviously, no team should ever be proud of having that kind of a stat. But you know what, Lakers took care of the first half of the game. My guy was LeBron. He didn't really look too aggressive tonight. I think he kind of just took the foot off the gas. I was very glad to see LeBron and AD not having to play the fourth quarter. We were talking about that in the pregame show. Let these guys rest. LeBron played a ton of minutes in the last game. So did AD. It was good to see AD in rhythm, though.
Oh, absolutely. And I already had AD as the player of the game, and he went off. Let me get a bit on AD for a second. He had 37 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Yeah, he got 3 personal fouls. He shot 14 for 21 from the field and 2 for 3 from the three-point line. Yes, he didn't take many threes, but we want to see AD shooting threes, and we want to see him in the paint. 6 rebounds is nice. I wish he could have got maybe 9 or 10 rebounds because we need him to be a nice rim protector for guys like Wendell Carter Jr. to score. But he had a very good game, and shout out to Frank Vogel for finally playing THT. I don't know what the hell that was about for not playing THT, but shout out to him for playing him in his hometown because THT as well is from Chicago. And even though he didn't take many shots, he played 21 minutes, shot 3 for 6 from the field. Very decent, 10 points. Not bad.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Anthony Davis needs to do better rebounding. Loves energy. His hustles, mid-range is flowing. But man, you know how Lakers shot really well from the three-point line last game against Milwaukee, man. Terrible game from the three-point line. 4 for 19, 21%. That's unacceptable. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's a long season. I'm not too worried. It'll bump up next game. Free throws, 80%. Rebounds, 42 to their 45. We got to do a better job out rebounding teams, man. They're killing us on these boards, man. Total turnovers 19 each for both teams. And points in the paint, 54-42. I love what we did tonight in the paint, man. Anthony Davis is dominating Montrezl. Everybody was dominating defensively, man. But like my boy Michael said, man, second half was terrible. Up 30 and you go sleep, man. You can't be doing that. Because if Chicago came back and won, I would have been turning up right now. But I'm glad that we hold the fort. I'm glad that we executed down the stretch, man. But overall, good first half. Second half was freaking trash.
Yeah. We just absolutely fell apart. We in the second half, you're up by 30. We say there's something Stu Lance says every game, no matter how big of a lead there is. If you can't ever trust a lead unless you're up by something crazy where you're up 50 in the game, 55 points beat down in a game, and there's a minute left in the game. That's probably the only time you're going to see a lead maybe dip 4 points, maybe 6 points. But you can't blow down a 30-point lead. I think the Lakers got. We like to say this a lot. Is Lakers got too lazy in the second half. I immediately said, if we start great in the first half, like I was telling you guys, we were on a roll. We were doing well, and I said you got to come out and bring that energy in the second half. And if you don't bring it, these teams are gonna get. You're gonna give them hope. You're gonna give them an opportunity. They shaved off like 10 points, and I think we were down by I think they were down by 12. I think so at one point, yeah, it was a 12-point game right after they made the last free throw, and I said you can't do this. It wasn't LeBron and AD did not have to theoretically be still playing in the game, even if there was 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left in the third quarter. They could have literally just checked out right there, but again, lazy passing, lazy shots. LeBron took 3 air balls. I mean, it happens. It's basketball. You're going to hit him or you're going to miss him. But, I mean, they just absolutely looked flat. The third quarter was terrible. I think we only got 20 points in the third quarter. It should never happen when you're trying to beat a team and close the game. You need to keep your foot down on the gas. You should have scored another 30-something over 30 points in that third quarter, have a huge lead coming in the fourth quarter, and then if they're getting around 20 points in the game, 20-point lead by the time there's 2 minutes left in the game, nobody's going to care because primarily the rest of the game you kept the lead up. But it was disappointing third quarter.
The third quarter was terrible. I absolutely agree with you on that, Aaron. I think the Bulls scored 33 points in that third quarter. Very bad defense. After the second quarter, we scored 34 points. And another thing I want to get into is the three-point shooting was absolutely horrid. Horrid. And I'm going to get into a little bit about that. We shot, as a whole team, 21.1% from the three-point. Besides AD shooting 2 for 3 from the 3, everybody else was off. LeBron James shot 0 for 2. Marc Gasol shot 0 for 2. I'm done with Marc Gasol. Forgot to mention that. I'm done with him. Dennis Schroeder, 0 for 2. KCP, 1 for 3. Kuzma had like 3 of them, 0 for 3. Wesley Matthews, 0 for 2. Caruso, 1 for 2. At least he made 1. But we're lucky we even won. Because in that fourth quarter, if we didn't make at least some shots in the fourth quarter, we would have got buried. We were up by 20 points at halftime. And I was like, you know what? This game is going to be a very easy game. It's going to be a cakewalk. And then the third quarter happens, and we absolutely look like we fell asleep. I even wrote that on Twitter that we were falling asleep. And, I mean, I'll take the win. A win is nice, but I just feel like we should have done better.
Yeah, man, we should have done better, and that's how you get teams back when you fall asleep and play like freaking soft like Charmin in the second half, man. It's ridiculous, because they did it against Golden State, and Golden State said, hit him in the mouth. Hit him in the mouth, and you can't be doing it.
No.
Because if we would have lost tonight, if we would have lost this second half, 30 points, because that's why I tweeted, I said, great first half, but the job ain't done yet, and then that's when the Lakers started to do some shit I don't like, man. That's the shit I don't like when the Lakers do that shit.
Yeah.
You're up 30. You're up 30. You're up 30. You put that team away. You start swinging. I don't care if it's 30 to 40, even if you have to do it 60. Because Lakers' third quarter was trash tonight. Even though we won, you got to do better closing teams out like that. You got to do a better job. I don't care if it's against the Bulls, against anybody. You got to close teams out 30 to 12. We were at 30, and it was a 12-point game. Really, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous to this point, because if we're continuing to give up these, let teams back in, we're going to get punched in the mouth one of these days. We need to fix it now. We need to fix it now before the playoffs. Because if we continue to have these lapses and, we're going to come back, and then we're going to if we let teams come back in the playoffs like this, let's hypothetically say we play first round matchup Golden State up 30 and they cut it to 12, guarantee you Golden State's going to execute better than us down the stretch, because when you give teams life and confidence in themselves, they could be, we're down 30, we cut 12, let's go. Because I've seen this team do this before, last season. Be up 20, lose the game by 5. It's like, we're just coasting right now. We're best team in the NBA, man. Overall, was the little things we need to work on, man. Talk on defense. Great defensive stats today. Great defense, but here's the thing. We lead the league in charges at 22 a game. I saw a stat on Spectrum Sportsnet that they showed 22 taking charge. Even though we lost JaVale McGee and Dwight, Alex Caruso got bullied, like he took a charge and he hurt his like back, and that looked very nasty. Like it looked like it hurt. You know, the floor in the NBA when you take a charge, it's always undefeated. Anytime you do, you take a charge, and we're doing that defensively. So I like what we're doing, but overall, stop trying to let teams back. I know it's a long game, but still, you gotta blow out teams. If you're up there, you gotta just chill on the sideline. Ice on your knee, ice on your knees, game, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. Obviously, hey, like Stu even said, hey, the floor it hurts. I'm very glad to see that Caruso got up, and I saw that he went to go get looked at by the training staff. Glad he was able to come back out there, but still, if you're supposed to be this good of a team, I get it. It's still semi early in the season because most players about probably this week and about last week, maybe 3 weeks in now, are just getting their legs finally comfortable. Because I get it. It's a long process, but still, if you're trying to build championship modes of just having that the idea of saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to come out here. I need to dominate the second half because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do in the first half. The Lakers could have been losing. It could have been a tie game or could have been a back and forth game in the first half. And guess what? You know what? We could have either been down in the half. It doesn't matter how you start the the game. It's ending the game. That's all it is. If you win the fourth quarter of the game, you're gonna win the game. Not only on the defensive end, but you're gonna win on the offensive end. And we have to be consistent there. I don't like the fact that we've been a little checked out in the second half. You can't think like that. You got to think of every game that you play. I don't care if we're up 30. I don't care if we're up 42 in the game. Every game that you come out in that second half, you're up by 2 points. That's it. You're up by 2 points or you have a 10-point lead. Do you want that lead to go away? And that's what these players got to start saying. I don't know if it's from a leadership aspect. I think LeBron and AD kind of got to get telling the guys like, hey, we have to come out here. We still have 24 minutes of basketball left. You played 24 minutes so far. You have you have more to go. You got to keep your foot down on the gas. You can't get lackadaisical. And it's been too many games already. I've seen that. We got to kill these habits.
It happens every single game, and I'm actually sick and tired of it because it doesn't make sense. Because every win we've had, we're actually lucky we have all these wins because most of these games we've had big leads, and then we're just like snoozing and snoring in bed, and then we would just wake up and we're like, oh, now the game is close. Okay, so now what the hell do we do? Well, you know what you should be doing? You should be keeping your eyes open. You should be running at the court. You should actually keep your eyes open and not stop, because when you stop, you're gonna get buried. We're lucky we didn't get buried tonight. The 3-point shooting was awful, like I mentioned, because can you imagine like the Bulls shot 32% from three? Can you imagine if they shot like 40% from three? If they had like a 50-40 night, tonight would have been ugly. And I'm keeping it real here, guys. You know me. I keep it real. We all keep it real here. Like LeBron did not play aggressive at all tonight. He shot 6 or 16 and 50%, but if you're LeBron, you gotta play better than this because when you're probably one of the best, if the best player in the game, you gotta have way more aggression. And Marc Gasol, like I said before, I'm done. Marc Gasol needs to get the hell out of LA. Rob Pelinka, if you're watching this, which probably not, get him out. Release him, buy him out, because he looks disinterested. He doesn't look like he wants to be there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with Gasol, Manny, we touched on this earlier. We were talking about it earlier in the game and the pregame, saying, hey, Gasol needs to get. This would have been a perfect game for him to get more involved, get the ball rolling, get your feet going.
Remember that.
And he just did not show up. Like, why? Okay, if you're not, why do you stand so far back? Like, there's so many plays I'm watching the Lakers run. If you're a center, I don't care if you could shoot a 3-pointer. You belong down in the paint. Period. Just play bully ball with the guys that are down there. I like, okay, he got a charge. He took a charge, got a couple rebounds, got 4 rebounds in the game and 1 assist. But where's the offense, man? Like, what? You had plenty of opportunities tonight. He could have seriously had 15 points at least in the game if he wanted to. I think personally now,
Absolutely.
I don't. It's going to cost the Lakers way too much money to try and release him because they're still not going to be able to do any. Have to release him, pay his whole salary out. It would hurt the Lakers in their luxury taxes here. So I think you're going to see an opportunity where they're going to explore another option to try and trade a younger guy, and just reduce Gasol's minutes. You might see Gasol in there just because for a little bit, but you'll probably see his minutes go down tremendously.
Yeah, most definitely, man. And I mentioned on the pregame show, Lakers should try to go trade for Aaron Baines. And let me tell you why Aaron Baines can shoot that three. He can get the dirty work, get those boards, And if we have to trade Marc Gasol back to Toronto, then let's do it. As far as Marc Gasol, man, my friend Corey from Out of Bounds Sports Podcast saying, was talking about he's a playoff player like a Rondo. And I don't see that right now. But it's still a long season. And if you continue, Lakers did a good job defensively in the first half. Second half was trash, that we talked about. At the end of the day, you can learn from games like this on the giving up these leads, man, because the 2009 Lakers, 2010 Lakers would do that. When we went back-to-back, they did that stuff against Charlotte Bobcats, and we ended up losing to the Charlotte Bobcats. I remember Matt Carroll shot a three. We were up 15 in the fourth quarter. They came back, shot the three in the corner. Kobe called the ref the name, got thrown out. The next game, we're up 15, lost the game against Seattle. Third game, same thing, and we finally figured it out, went back-to-back. So it's going to happen. What up, Lakers, on Instagram? What's up with you? What's up with you guys on Instagram? But anyway, overall, just you gotta fix it, because if you don't fix it, you're gonna punch in the mouth. I'm just keeping it real. But actually, you know what? I kind of want to get punched in the mouth to get tested, see what we're made of. Everybody's telling us, oh, we're gonna win back to back. I want to get punched in the mouth. I want that noise, bruh. I want that noise. The noise that everybody's talking about, saying, oh, you can't beat Brooklyn, can't beat the Clippers. I want that action. I want all that smoke. Even I want Portland. I want anybody from the West. I want anybody, man. I'm not scared of no team.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we've had some gut punches that says, where honestly I think their gut punch right. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think the gut punch right now that they've had was losing to Golden State on MLK Day. You were up in that game. You had that game. And you come back, you let Curry come in there. All of a sudden, they start talking about, oh, well, Curry hasn't shot well and he hasn't taken a three yet. And all of a sudden, hey, here they come. It's a tie game, and the Lakers were up. They weren't up by 30 in the game, but we had a comfortable lead enough that we should have closed that game out. They were pissed about it, and they took care of business the next night. So I think the Lakers have gotten their gut punches. I wouldn't be surprised, if Cleveland, if that's in a scenario with the Cavs, they're an underestimated team with how they play and how they beat Brooklyn and shocked the whole world because they beat them twice. But you know what? You can't count these teams just because of their record being terrible. Doesn't mean you could say, okay, cool, I could just soar to this. And I think the Lakers' problem has been we have a huge lead after the first half of the game. We're gonna fall into a little bit of a comfortable feeling right now. We're going to take our foot off the gas a little bit. Oh, crap. It's down to 12 points. We need to actually wake up. But props to the Laker bench tonight, though. Laker bench is the reason why our lead went back up to 22 and why our lead kept staying up, because the bench really carried the starters. And that's exactly what they needed to do. They needed to come out in the fourth quarter. We won that game because of the bench taking over. I was glad to see. I didn't see a lot of Markieff. I know one of the comments we saw what happened to Markieff. We don't know what happened. He just didn't play DNP. So, it's, coach's decision probably. Maybe they're just trying to shuffle people around for minutes because there is going to be a scenario where we're playing a back-to-back. But you know what? It was a good win by the bench.
Honestly, back to what you guys were saying about this thing that we're not playing that as aggressive and stuff. Cleveland, I don't think it'll matter, but we cannot play like this against Philly. Not only is it because it's going to be a very emotional night because It's gonna be the one. It's gonna be the day after the 1 year anniversary of Kobe passing away tragically. God rest his soul. But Philly, not only that, but also because they're the number one team in the East, and we're the number one team in the West. That's gonna be a big battle. And if we come out short against those guys, it's not gonna end well because Embiid is gonna be hungry. Simmons is gonna be hungry. I know Simmons doesn't shoot the three much, but he's gonna be hungry. He's gonna be in the paint trying to guard LeBron. Embiid is gonna want AD for sure. And then they got some shooters like Thibault, Maxey. Danny Green hasn't been that great, but we know he can shoot sometimes when he feels like it. Like, trust me, if we play like that against Philly, it's not going to end well. We need to fix something. Frank Vogel, if you're watching this, probably not. Tomorrow during practice, I don't know if we're going to be having practice in Cleveland or if we're going to be practice in Chicago before we leave to Cleveland. But you need to address this, Vogel. We need to be like, you know what? Get on the court and do not blow any lead. I don't care if we're up by 30. I don't care if we're up by 40. I don't care if we're up by 50. We have the lead. Stay with the lead. Do not stop with that bullshit. Stop with that crap. It's annoying.
Yeah, it is. But at the end of the day, you can learn from something like this. You know, maybe that's just Lakers team this year being up big and then giving up the lead. But you can work on. You can fix it. You know, would you rather? Let me ask you this: everybody in the comments on my social media and the platform, would you rather have us fix it now or do this stuff in the playoffs? Put them in the comment section. What would you guys rather? What would you rather have do?
No.
Now. Yeah, but I think I think if in general, obviously you want to fix it now. I think obviously, let's get the problems out of the way. Get the problems out of the way now. Get it taken care of, so you're not worrying about it so much. But you know what? In the same time, you might have these moments. You might be a little lackluster in the playoffs. Some teams literally have that moment where obviously we know a specific team we're not going to get into. We know a team where they're up in a game and they happen to blow a game. But you know what? It's basketball. It could be. You have to play. It's a 48-minute game, and I'm always telling you guys this. No matter how much we're talking about the game during the game, as long as you win the fourth quarter and you come out there and you dominate the fourth quarter, you will win the game. You'll win every game because you're actually giving it full 48 minutes, or you were lackluster in the first half and you came out there and won the second half. Because it doesn't matter how you play. It doesn't matter how you start. It's all about finishing. If you finish the game great, we'll be fine.
Absolutely. If you finish it, you're going to be fine. But the thing is, it's how you start also. Like, if we start with a 30-point lead, we can't just be chillax. We got to keep going. We got to keep rebounding. We got to keep scoring. We got to keep assisting. And even though if we're not making our shots, we got to attempt some more shots. I noticed tonight we didn't take many shots from the three-point line. I understand that, like, we say a lot in the show that three-pointer can't be the only shot. But we can't just take like 19 three-point shots. I want us to at least take like 25 shots from the three, not 19. Like, taking a lot of shots is good, but don't take too much. That's what I always go by. Because if you take some shots, you make some, you don't make some, it can help us. It can help us win. It might not work all the time, but it's a good effort, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Good effort. It's always good, man. Always good. I just like what THT did. Shout out to Frank Vogel. Actually, shout out to Frank Vogel and LeBron. For implementing THT, man. So I love what THT did. Slashing the lane. And hey, everybody, tomorrow night is 1/24/2021. If you guys want to express your Kobe Bryant memories, man, make sure you guys tune into the Profanity Nation live show. Profanity Nation has a show. They're going to honor Kobe. You guys can call in. The number is 877-311-BANDS-3267. Again, if you guys want to call and express your Kobe memories, man, call that number, man, and tell them Big Baby Jonathan sent you, man, because Profanity Nation, keep up the great work, man. Salute to you guys, man. But other than that, man, just want to say thank you, Aaron and Manny, for tuning in tonight. Co-host, man, appreciate you guys. And shout out to everybody in the stream, man. Love you guys. 100.